How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the Ham Radio Crash Course. Welcome to Saturday. Today we're talking Morse code, particularly CW on amateur radio. We're going to be, I'm going to show you what I all did, I guess, to learn the alphabet. And then we're going to do some practical, hopefully practical practicing. Practical practicing, I like it. The best way to learn anything is through good practice. And I'm going to show you some of the things I did and also give you some recommendations of what you can do on your own time. So get ready for the fun. Enjoy the memes until we get things started. And a big shout out to Paul, K7VIQ, the first member of the chat. Thank you so much in the live stream there. Appreciate it. All right. How's it going, everybody? There we go. How's it going, everybody? Appreciate you coming on out to the show. Man, very weird. My Stream Deck is acting very odd since the last update. It switches between Ham Nation and the After Chat and HRCC. That's why it was changing songs on me. But hey, thanks for coming on out. Thanks for spending your Saturday with me. We're already getting reports in the chat that the ham radio bands are all messed up from a recent solar storm. So maybe when I get to the practical practicing, I won't have a ton of people blowing my doors off, which would be pretty nice. So thanks again. Appreciate it. But yeah, so we're talking about Morse code, CW. And I've got, the reason for this is I've got a backpacking trip coming up, and I want to pack light. I would like to pack lighter than the KX2. That would be my goal. But realistically, I just don't think I'm confident enough to just only do CW. So like taking a mountain topper or something like that. So I will be taking my KX2. So I at least have a microphone, right? So I could still do an activation with a single sideband if I need to. Because undoubtedly, even at 4 contacts on Summits on the Air, which is doable, I'd like to do a little bit more than that. So yeah, a lot of people in the chat. Appreciate you guys in here chatting. Let's see. I saw K8MRD. What's up, man? He said he rocked 131 contacts today. That's amazing. That's awesome. Paul says CW is best mode. Yeah, I mean, guys, we should probably start out by mentioning that too, right? I still get it, right, from people who don't know much about Morse code or ham radio for that matter. They're like, what, people are still doing Morse code? What's that all about? Well, Morse code's really efficient, right? And it's just a dit or a daw. It's just the difference between a little bitty sound and a little bit longer bitty sound. So it goes over the air really well in terms of when you hear it on the demodulated side and coming out of your radio. It's easier to copy a dit and a daw than it is, my human speech, for instance. Plus, with a 5-watt radio, you get anywhere between the effectivity of a 60, sometimes even a 100-watt radio, depending on, how conditions are and all that fun stuff. So just by having a QRP radio, you're really not running that much of a disadvantage in a lot of cases, and it's going to come down to antenna, as it always does, right? And yeah, oh man, everybody's blowing up. CW is my favorite mode. Of course, I may be biased since I am an instructor for the Long Island CW Club. Well, hey, Evan, that's a perfect transition. We will be talking to the Long Island CW Club again this year. We haven't spoken to them yet, so we're going to definitely have them back on the show because I heard they have new and interesting things that they're doing over there, and we'll be giving them a shout out as well. So appreciate you guys for being in the chat. K9KJ says CW is the best mode. Well, there you go. Also, I mean, I was watching, we're going to mention Kyle here in a little bit, but I have been pushing myself to study more, right, actively throughout the week because I'm getting ready for this hike, and I want to at least be able to activate a summit with, CW. And sure enough, Kyle was doing a live stream, and he was doing the straight key sprint contest. And we were chatting, and as he's talking about, Morse code. He slipped into what I've done in the past is this romantic theory of what a field operation would look like with Morse code, where you're on a picnic with your loved ones, and you have a tiny little attaché case or tiny little box, and you open it up, and there's a little baby transmitter in there. But don't worry, you're not outgunned with the power of this radio, because it's running a special mode called continuous wave. And by lightly, just gingerly stretching our antenna over just a little tree, we can get out all over the place. And it's kind of true. It is. You don't have to have a lot of extra gear. You don't have to have a lot of extra stuff. You just need really your radio, a key, some way to listen, and that's pretty much it. For me, I need a piece of paper because I can't really log on my phone. I need to write things down. Listening and reading, yes. Listening and reading is truly the hard part of Morse code. That's where people get tripped up the most, right? And you'll find if you've done this, if you're starting to go down this journey, you'll find that you'll pick up the alphabet, you'll pick up the keying a lot faster than picking up the copy, right? And even when you're copying down on paper. And so there's all kinds of tools we use to help that out, at least in the way human beings learn, to make it so that they're not so, lost and in the weeds. And things have changed in that front too. There's actually different ways that we learn Morse code nowadays than we used to in the past, which has, I think, been very helpful, particularly if you consider things like the Long Island CW Club and how much they've grown just since their inception a couple of years ago. Wait, I think they started in 2018. It was either 2018 or 2019. They've exploded. They're all over the place, and it's gotten better and better and better every year. They just make these amazing improvements to it. Link is in the description, by the way. I posted a host of links in the description that we're going to talk about, but wanted to get that stuff out of the way first. Yeah, buddy, you see that? Where was it? We're over 4,000 members now. That is awesome. That is super, super awesome. That's correct. Is it? It's everybody else's fault. Always is, Tracy. That's right. All right, a couple of things to hit up right up top here, and I'm going to talk about these study aids if you want to kind of go it on your own. I posted a video not too long ago here last week on the San Clemente Island, the journey to San Clemente, if you will, and I guess the journey back. But there was a comment on where did I get my FTM sweater? Well, we made it. It's off of the merch store. That's actually my waterfall. And so if you go to hamtactical.com, go to all products, and then go to FT8 collection, there's actually a whole host of designs that Leia put together, and one of them is the zip-up hoodie. And so there it is. That is literally the hoodie that I was rocking. My figure, I guess, is not that shape, but it works fine for me. So yeah, it's over at hamtactical.com if you want to check that out. That is the merch store that we use for the Ham Radio Crash Course. All right. So first, kind of self-aid tool I would mention, and we're kind of going to go from like you got no Morse code experience and work your way up. Now, again, I'm going to reiterate: if you're going to go after this, right? If you're going to sit down and be like, no, I want to do something almost like taking a class. I want to learn. I want to learn quickly. I want to learn effectively. Go to the link for the Long Island CW Club. It's very inexpensive to join as a member, and it's worth it. Trust me when I say that. With that said, there are other study aids that can go along with it, and something like Morse Toad is a app that you can put on your Android phone or your iPhone, and it will walk you through learning the alphabet, and particularly the coax method of learning, which is it's going to play to start 2 characters, right? It's going to go back and forth, and you're going to keep clicking on whichever one it is that you hear the tones for after you learn the tone. And then it's going to add more characters slowly over time, 1 character, and test your assimilation of those characters, right? That's the coax method. Going this route, you can actually get pretty good at all of the characters by learning just through this kind of story that it takes you on, and it's simple. Don't get me wrong; it's a simple game, but it works just fine. In that same vein, there's something called Morse Machine, which is actually $1, so that's hard to beat. That's actually really good. Works on the same concept, except you have like a matrixy a grid of characters, right? And it's just going to keep adding characters and quizzing you over time. And the more characters you go through, the more of the competence you use, right, as you keep adding more. So right now you can see it's got 1, 2, E, T, U, I, A, S, H, and V on there. So it's going to run through all of those characters randomly when you built up to that. It's almost like leveling up, right? You level up into the next character, right? So that's what that's going to do for you, which is pretty dang useful. And now, something that for those of you that like to go on walks, or perhaps you need something to be background noise while you're working or whatnot, there's a website. It is Morse Code Ninja. Again, links in the description. And this website actually links to a really, really good YouTube channel that has practicing material on it. So let's, for example, generally people don't recommend that you go any lower than 15 words per minute to the best of your ability, right, to start, although we're going to definitely be doing that today most likely, just so that I don't go crazy. But what you do here is, so let's say you're at 15 words a minute. That's where you would be at to start. And we can just go to single letters. Oh, I clicked it. That's why it took me there. And it immediately brings up a YouTube page.
T. B.
Okay, you hear
Y.
and then it gives it again. And that audio cue, I believe, has some kind of retention thing that goes on when you play it. But anyway, let's go back. So we're going to click on that one. So yeah, you just click on whatever it is you want to do. Single letters, phonetic pronunciation of single letters, rapid fire, mind melt, single numbers, 8x character spacing, top 100 words. This is actually a really good one if you're like walking the dog. I've used this one in the past.
Find.
Find. I didn't realize the F in the. I thought that was a starting character, but I was like, what's IND going to be? So you can play this while you're on your walk, right? Just put some earbuds in, go on a walk, right? So all kinds of cool stuff. Look at how long this list is. It just goes on and on and on and on. So links in the description for this as well, so you can try this out. That's kind of what I recommend here. This isn't a like, Josh says you got to do all these things. No, not at all. I'm saying try them out and figure out which ones work for you. This is likely a little bit more down the road after you kind of have a grasp for the characters. So again, if you want to learn the characters, Long Island CW Club, if you're going to go at it, and again, it's not very expensive, and then you can add study aids like Morse Toad, Morse Machine, etc. Let's see. Next one. So this one's a lot of fun. We played this. We brought this up on Ham Nation I think over a year ago. It's advanced since then. It's gotten way, way better. So everybody's playing that Wordles game, the Squirtles. They're all playing that Squirtles. Well, of course, they got Morsel too, right? So let me show you how this works. This is actually pretty cool. So if you click on the little study hat, the mortar board, you can do practice words, or you can do practice call signs, which is what I've been doing. And you can change this to the speed that you want it to go at. Now, basically, the thing to keep in mind is, so if you say start at 40 words per minute, it's going to give it to you as fast as 40 words per minute can. And then it's going to start to lower it based off of your capabilities until you get there. For a lot of you starting out, 15 words per minute is fine. Okay. So now, if everybody has their pen and paper handy, we're gonna do a little bit of this. Let me catch up with the chat here. Yeah, there you go. I don't know that works. I think that's been proven that just playing stuff in the background while you try and sleep does not work. But hey, maybe you can do it, Mike. You can do it. Hey, Kyle loves Morse Machine. Yeah, Morse Machine's cool. It's always a fun little one to pick up. I believe you can do words with Morse Machine too, or something along those lines. I don't remember exactly. I know that doesn't, in my head, that doesn't work right, but. And going through the chat. Hey, The High Plains Drifter, thank you for your crash technician course. Was a huge success for me. Used it extensively for study and successfully passed the test first time. The High Plains Drifter. Now watch out, the man with no name is on the air. Oh, thanks for joining us. I appreciate it. Google has a Morse code like API type thing that you can use for various input like capabilities. So I know people who are like mobility challenged to the point of being like pretty disabled. They have like, you know, pads that they can tap with their face and whatnot to use Morse code. I know that exists. I don't know about a game though. Somebody in the chat can probably tell me. Yeah. So, so you can do. Okay. The other thing we didn't mention was Farnsworth. So we mentioned Koch method, where you just keep adding characters. So Farnsworth, which is what Morse Machine has turned on, it gives you more space between characters. So it gives you the character at the speed you've asked for, but it adds a spacing to it, and that spacing is Farnsworth. So that's what that's all about. All right, 2 words per minute. Yeah, you don't want to do 2 words per minute. That's too slow. When did somebody pay me $1? I didn't see it. Did I miss it? No. I did see James though with joining us on Technician. Appreciate it, buddy. Thank you so much. Yeah, that's what everybody says, is that if you learn the characters slowly, really wide spacing, you're actually going to do this mental calculation of counting dits and daws, and so it's almost like a 2-step translation. Instead of just hearing da dit, thinking R, you're hearing, okay, I heard a dit, a daw, and a dit, so that's R, right? Right. We don't want to do that. We don't want to add more processing time. We don't want to add processing lag. It's already hard enough. Well, thank you, Cedric. I appreciate that. I'm going to reward myself at the end of this live stream with a beer, because I am not going to drink anything to get this started. There's no way I'm going to be able to do any of this if I'm, have even one beer. It will not work for me. So if you'd like to follow us at the end of this live stream, we're going to do an after chat, and the HRCC after chat is open to all ham radio questions. We answer your questions. We want you to find the best path into ham radio. So if you have been stuck, you don't know what to buy, you don't know what to do after you get your technician, or you already have an antenna and you're like, oh my gosh, what do I do with this thing? Join us on the after chat on our Discord. The link is in the description for Discord, but you don't have to go very far. You just go to my next live stream and you can at least text chat. But if you want to be heard on the live stream, make sure you get us on the Discord. Mike Fikes sends me a coffee. Oh man, I had 2 large things of coffee today. I can have no more coffee. All right, I'm going to wet my whistle here, and then we're going to play a little morsel. And thank you, Kyle. Thank you, Kyle, for reminding me on morsel. I hadn't remembered it until I was like, oh yeah, that's that thing Amanda played or told me to play on Ham Nation. So here we go. These are call signs. This is a 5-character call sign at 15 words a minute. If you want to play along, just bring up Morsel and you can do that, or we're just going to listen live. Let's see if we can hear it. All right, so I think that was UT5ER. Is that right? Oh, I missed it. So I missed it by 1, right? So let's do that again. That's a U. E. Oh, it's an L. Okay. So I didn't hear that last dit, or at least I wasn't paying attention. So I am writing oh, you can't see that. Hold on. I do have to use a tablet when I'm copying, cuz I can't I can't do it otherwise. Too much. But we're going to get to this scene in a little bit, don't worry. So that's Morsel. Super fun, right? Hey, Jason, thank you for that. 2E1HKO. So now if I got that on the radio, my American brain would be like, I don't understand the CWs that are coming out of this thing. But hey, I appreciate you super chatting there. Hey, and there it is, Cedric. Upgraded membership to... Well, thank you there, buddy. I appreciate that. Let's see. Yep, very good. All right, let's try it again. So, I gotta guess it. There we go. We made it. Yep. Oh, don't worry, everybody. You don't have to correct me. I know I'm gonna get things wrong. You're gonna be typing a lot if you want to correct me everything I do wrong here. Uh-oh, 4 characters. Okay. That is A5V VL. No, that's not what I want. There we go. Oh man, that's real bad. Now I gotta listen to it again. Oh, that's R. Oh, that's Y. That was way wrong. So R. See? I'm real bad at this. Don't worry. Oh, I'm still getting it wrong. So. Oh, that's Q. There we go. See? All right. So now you can't feel bad. I'm doing this live. I suck. Whoa. Thank you, Cedric. That's super nice. Thank you for gifted memberships. Very cool. Thank you for that. And congratulations. I can't select all the people who won, but it looks like Philip, Barry, Evan, Pascal, thank you, and Pamela. Right on. So you got no excuse. That's right. It's a Russian call. Got no excuse not to practice this kind of stuff because I suck and I'm doing it on the air. Uh-oh, these 6 ones, they scare me because you can almost guarantee they're going to be DX. Nah, I just know I suck. Like, you can't. Go ahead, say I suck. I suck. I know I suck. I don't feel bad about it. I didn't catch the first one, but it was A6 SI. So then I think I might have missed more. So hold on. Oh, and O. So that's a J, or that's an O at the end, and a J. And go. Oh my god. Real bad. Oh. There we go. So I had. Oh, wait! See? It was M. There it is. Da. I was playing this beforehand just to warm myself up, and of course you turn it on live, and I'm going to do even worse. But hey, that's all right. See, this is why I was like, I'll reward myself at the end with the beer. Because I know I'm going to do horribly. But hey, if I can do it, you can do it. So get on Morsel every day. You can use your phone. All right, we'll do one more, and then we're going to move on because I got more stuff I got to hit before we even get to the radio, and I feel like we're almost at the halfway point. Sounds about right. Okay, 4 characters. Can he do it? That is... I think I got it. N6LB. I did it. Got it. All right. Very good. See, hey, write it down. Do it for yourself, bud. Don't cheat. We're not cheating out here. Yeah, so we're going to talk about that too, Richard. Don't worry, because we're not stopping at Morsel. Although I really love this. It's such a fun, it's a really cool website. Yeah, all right, so moving on. Now is the time. Let's see. Yeah, next one I want to mention here is Thomas Witherspoon. So Thomas actually, most of his videos are a CW training aid. I don't know if you know this. I'll show you why. Okay, so I think I've had Thomas on the show. Great guy. We are totally simpatico about bags, ham radio bags, building kits, all that stuff. He's a QRP guy, runs SWLing. So if you've ever been to SWLing.com or QRPer, right? Those are websites that he runs where he does reviews and whatnot. But his YouTube videos are special. I'm gonna pull up a long one. and I'm going to show you why. So they're all pretty long, about an hour. Let's go to this one.
Hello, this is Thomas.
So
K4SWL.
he starts out, it's got the same
If you're new
opening.
Here, I like to do real-time, real-life amateur radio field
And
activation videos.
Real time.
And I just parked my car.
I'm going to pause this for a second. So he does these real-time activations where he shows you walking up, shows you what he brought, shows you setting up the antenna. Very little edits, just like hits record and does the thing, right? So what he does, though, in addition to that, is he has a judicious use of these chapter markers. And you can use these chapter markers to jump forward and back in the video. So if you are not interested in the views of the, like what's in the deployment area or whatnot, or his antenna deployment, or setting up chair and station, a lot of you will be if you're going to go do a Summit on the Air portable or a Parks on the Air. You're probably going to be interested in that. But when he starts the activation, he usually has a marker. It says beginning of activation, and then when he switches, so QSY to 15 meters. So if we go to beginning of activation 17 meters, that's at the 24-minute mark. If we just click it, though. Maybe? Oh, gotta hit the... So he's calling CQ POTA.
Now for kicks, I'm going to see if the SOTA network spots me automatically.
And now, what I like to do is... He's calling again.
And this is where having...
So what I like to do is, while he's like working the pile up, what's really cool about this is he purposely has that tablet in view. So you can use that to kind of like check your work. So if you want to practice head copying, like, you know, when you're doing something, and head copy is where you try and decode parts of Morse code in your head. You can do that with just watching his video, which is kind of cool. And then you can just glance over at the video and be like, ah, okay. So I'll be like washing the dishes or something like that, or doing whatever in the ham shack or in the garage, or just, you know, I don't know, whatever, mowing the lawn. And I can stop and go back, or I can look at the call sign list that he's built as he goes through this. So let's find an example of a QSO really fast.
Saved my spot.
He's calling CQ again. There we go. So that was somebody was sending him 5NN, which is 5959. Or 5599. Ooh, he's got a pilot too. So yeah, pretty cool, right? That's a really fun way of learning as well. Now, I will give the shout out to Kyle because, you know, he does a lot more than just CW, but he's been doing something really, really cool. If you go to Kyle's channel, A0Z, and I believe I've got that link in the description, but A0Z's easy to find. If you go to live, so he does, where is it? Right here. So anything that says CW, that is what he calls the CW, new CW Operators Roundtable. And it's a group of smart people, including Thomas. Thomas shows up as well from time to time. But yeah, I highly recommend that. He does that on Mondays. And that, you know, it's not going to help you. And see, this is a trap, right? I love this, right? I love this. But for all you watching that are starting out, there's often a trap of like, wading too deeply into the like discussion of gear and the analytics of how to do all this stuff, but you haven't taken step one into learning those characters yet. So while it is super important that you eventually get to that point, particularly if you're going to be doing a Parks on the Air activation, Summits on the Air, or just want to make contacts on the air, you got to do that alphabet learning thing first and figure out how to copy Morse code, whether it's, you know, down on paper or in your head. Just keep in mind, just doing straight head copy is much harder than learning to copy on paper. So great stuff. Definitely watch them on Mondays, but do that, right? And then like go practice, right? And the goal is you're trying to practice at least, I don't know, 10 minutes at a time, and then take a break, and possibly do that 3 times a day. That would be like peak practicing for Morse code, for like learning the characters. And then, of course, once you start dabbling into actually making contacts, then, you know, you're going to spend more time in front of the radio. And that is, to be honest, at some point, it's that like when you were a kid and you had the water wings on, or you had a life vest, and you had to take all that off, right? And you felt like really scared. That's kind of what it feels like with Morse code when you're getting started with it. Is at some point you kind of have to take the water wings off and the flotation devices and make a go at it in the pool. And the pool in this case is the actual bands, right? So highly recommended. Highly recommended all the stuff there. Super chat from Michael Alward. Aylward. Let's go with that. I hope I nailed it. Of course I did, right? So thank you for the super chat. Thanks for the great lessons. Keep it up. Yeah, and speaking of lessons, I'm going to give another shout out here to Long Island CW Club in a second. Hey, Andy Callie says CW is fun. It's fun. Like, it's fun once when you succeed. In the beginning, it's frightening, right? It's totally frightening. And I'm guys, like I said, I'm with it. I'm with you. I'm a neophyte, a noob, all that stuff. I'm gonna grab a picture really fast. It's in my meme roll, and I think it showed up, but I gotta show you guys this because to me it's like the epitome of it's the epitome of like CW. When you're well, whatever you're doing here. Where is it? Come on, buddy. There it is. This is the guy. Yeah. So this is this is it right here. It's all Matthew McConaughey, but that's which one are you working CW? So I'm a 4. I'm a 4, and I have had moments of a 3 after successfully completing like chasing a POTA, which I've chased Adam multiple times, but yeah, So I'm doing this to help you break the ice. You can do this, I promise. And you're gonna feel like I am. You're gonna be like 4. Yeah. So anyway, all right. Let's see. Yeah. Let's go back here and give a shout out. Long Island CW Club. Man, okay. Let's wait for those numbers to pop in. Okay. At the time of recording, these numbers fluctuate, and I don't want to overstate or underrepresent any of their numbers. But it's my understanding that any month, right, week, I believe, they will have somewhere between 75 to what they're advertising here, 95 classes a week. And they're done over Zoom. There are multiple different classes for the different levels of your experience, beginner 1, beginner 2, intermediate, and then more than that, right? And they change up what everything, what the syllabus is. And it has grown, and they have changed over time. They have so many cool ways, novel approaches for you guys to learn. So if you want to check that out, make sure you do that. All right. Let's see. Did I miss anything? Evan. Yes, that's accurate. Yeah. Freaks me out, man. Tracy Moon says, big fan of LICW. I use LICW. Their great classes are a little sparse now as they're on summer break. Yes, yeah. So that's why those numbers can fluctuate some. Yeah, and that's I'm taking nothing away from CW Ops and the other organizations. I'm just the most aligned with LICW because LICW has an approach that any person can go to any class, and it's actually kind of fun. As a total noob, I've gone to a couple of their high-speed, low-drag CW classes, get my butt kicked, and I can kind of just sit there, and that's when I am, that's when I am number 1. I'm Matthew McConaughey from Interstellar, right? When I'm just listening to the pro CW guys, and I'm like, oh my god, the void is looking back at me. All right, just joined Long Island CW Club today, Winnipeg, Manitoba. What's up, bud? And then lastly, and I think this is the way, right, to get your chops up is start chasing parks on the air. You'd be pretty surprised, I think, in how easy the exchange, as they call it, the exchange of information is to do parks on the air activations, but not just activations. The easy side of that is the chasing, because you already know the call sign of the individual you're chasing because their frequency and call signs are displayed, right? So you just go to that frequency, and if you hear them, we'll try and make a contact. And the exchange itself is pretty straightforward too. It's usually something along the lines of like, thank you, TU, and then UR, right? These are letters, and then it'll be like, 5NN or 5N, 5N, something along those lines. And you can sometimes give the abbreviation for your state, so I'd be CA. And then you'd say BK, which is basically like back to you. And that's to tell the activator that I'm done, or they'll tell you that they're done and I can reply back. And that's pretty much all there is to it. It's actually pretty easy. Parks in the air on CW, more involved to exchange parts. Yeah, well, of course. Yeah. And sure, that's, of course. But for a chaser, you don't need to worry about that. So what does that look like? Well, here's the quick and dirty on that one. Let's go to Parks on the Air. And if you just have, I've got it set to 20 meters just because that's the band that I have on right now. And if you click the mode, oh, sure, they've got one for CW. Why this is cool is when you get to the point that you might actually activate a POTA, if you go in and make an alert, right? An alert is different from a spot. An alert is like, hey, I'm threatened to be out here tomorrow at 1 p.m. or something like that. And you make it's like a pre-spot. I call them alerts. That's a term that we'd use over on Summits on the Air. But anyway, if you make an alert and say like, hey, I'm going to be at this park on this frequency-ish at 1 o'clock. Well, when you get to that park, you don't actually have to go on your phone and post a spot. You can just call CQ POTA and your call sign. And if it gets picked up by something called the Reverse Beacon Network, which is a series of listening stations that listens for Morse code traffic, call signs, things like CQ and then a call sign, if you do that, it will actually, the POTA site will spot for you. It'll take your alert and go plop, here you go. You just spotted yourself. So yet another reason to learn Morse code. It's faster and easier than pretty much any other mode for getting yourself spotted, particularly if you're in an area where there is no cell reception. CH says, well, thank you for the super chat, CH. Thanks for providing a plethora of starter info. It's been very helpful so far since I'm new. Any input on a starter good setup? I have a room dedicated for a stationary radio setup, around $1,500 to toss at. Oh, see, this is the question that we'd love to answer on the after chat. I'm gonna take a crack at it, but here's the thing, right? I have a video, by the way, that it's a year or two. It's 2 years old now. It's called the $1,000 Ham Shack, and everybody's like, $1,000 Ham Shack? That's a lot of money. Like, well, not when you factor in the radio, the antenna, the power supply, the coax, all those incidental things that have to go into it, right? So for $1,500, you could probably get a $900 radio, a $300 end-fed half-wave, and then your power supply could be close to $200, and you may not have enough money for coax, right? So something to think about, right? Paul says 7,300. Yeah, why is my chat not updating? There we go. Yeah, 7,300 and a Bencher B1, a BY1, sure. There's the Yaesu 710 that came out. 7,300 obviously is, you might be able to get one cheaper than a 710 right now. The thing, though, is that's $1,000 right off the top, right? So you could instead decide to save money, go with a cheaper radio, but then I wouldn't call that a base station. There's not a lot of base station radios under $1,000 right now. You can, yeah, well, that's where we were going with it. Jump in with the G90, the Shegu G90. Yes, but I wouldn't call that a base station radio, and it's 20 watts instead of 100 watts, so keep that in mind. For you Morse code guys, though, this is going to be a tastier morsel potentially, because 20 watts is going to be fine. You're going to be fine with 20 watts. It's not the best on CW, on Morse code, but you can work with that. Part of the problem with the G90 on CW is it doesn't have very good filtering. Yeah, Don, the FT891, see, I always view that as a portable radio. I know there's plenty of people that use it for their permanent base station setup, and I guess, hypothetically, if you fall in love with this thing, if you fall in love with ham radio, you could always take this FT891 and make it your POTA radio, and then invest in a larger base station radio down the line in your dedicated space. So you could start out with the 891. That would definitely work, and then you can get yourself a pretty nice antenna, good coax, LMR 400, and then you can have a power supply without much issue. So there you go. All right. So let's see. What are we planning on doing here? And there's Kyle. What did I miss? Oh, yeah. Okay. So here's what I'd like to do. Where are we at? All right. I gave myself about 20 minutes. I don't think I could take much more of this. So this is what I want to do, all right? So I'm going to call CQ on this radio here, and you can know the frequency. This isn't a contest or anything like that. I'm going to be on 20 meters. And you're going to give me your call. So you're going to hear me say CQ, DE is from, DE from. In fact, this is a document. I could just, right? And you're going to come back with your call sign, and we're going to keep it real simple. I'm going to say thank you, right? That's TU. You are, and then going to give you my signal report, and then BK, right? And then BK from you is going to be, actually, I'm going to go. I think that's wrong. I think you go, yeah, so that's fine. We'll just do 73 BK. No, because BK would be, see, I'm already second guessing myself. BK, you end it, then we'll just do 73. So we don't need the good enough, right? Okay, that's it. So we would make a contact at that point. So I'm gonna write it down, and we're gonna have a go at it. Yeah, there's no way, Don. So don't worry. In the after chat, we won't be doing Morse code. We're just going to be doing our regular answer questions, and ask questions, that kind of thing. And I will likely still be doing FT8 in the background because there's no way I can do CW and try and answer questions and be present for the after chat, right? So, all right. Yeah, no, Jim, this is not. I'm not doing the Pod Exchange, but yes, go watch his on the Pod Exchange. I'm making this just super simple. I just want it real simple because I suck. And do send 15 words per minute or slower, and extra spacing won't be. I won't be mad at extra spacing. All right, so let's switch things down here because I got to turn on the radio here. Let's make sure you can hear it. I don't know if you hear that white noise in the background. That's certainly radio noises. And what's all this look like? Well, let's talk about what we got here. So we got a KX2 into my Step IR, and that's my Bengali Traveler. And a piece of paper. That's pretty much what we're going to do, okay? So I am going to find a spot here. Well, so Richard, I appreciate you justifying this with yourself, but if I don't come back to you, it's because I can't copy you. So you can say whatever you want here, but if I don't copy you, because it's too fast, that's how that's going to be. And no jumping the gun here. If that was somebody trying to jump the gun, I'm not doing that. I'm not playing that game. Alrighty. Let's see how we can do it. And by the way, there's going to be a judicious amount of dit, did it, which is equal to question mark. So if I give you a did it, did it, and I have part of your call sign or something along those lines, it means I didn't get your call sign at all, or I didn't get it fully, so you're going to have to give it back to me. So let's see what I'm at here. No, don't try and precog it. I haven't started calling yet, guys. All right. Oh. And don't bother calling if you can't hear me. Oh. Ah! I'm new to this. You came in too fast. That IV station. I got a K and an IV. Okay, got it. Oh, that was a thank you. Oh, that's not... All right. So that was going to be a... Thank you. All right, so there you go. There's the first one. We got one! Ah! I have to get used to this. I got a T and a B. All right, I got him. No. Okay. I think we got it. Whoa, too much. Too fast. I think it's KI5J. All right, got it. No, that's not what exactly I wanted. Put that down, please. No, put it down, please. Put it down. I'm in the middle of something. Go inside, please. Go inside, please. Oh, too many. I'm so bad. Close enough. Thank you. Okay. Too many DAWs. Whoa. I don't know what that signal report was. Oh my gosh! Holy smokes, I'm actually doing a little bit better than I thought I was going to be. And I know I screwed up a lot, guys. I know. I'm still trying. I just activated a summit. Are you kidding me? I can do it. Oh, I'm so... Woohoo! I am so dang happy. Now what am I, guys? Now what am I? Where am I? What am I now? That guy, right there. That guy, 3. That's where I am right now, right there. Oh yeah, Jody. Oh yeah, bud. All right, we're going to call it one more time, see if we get one more in there, and I think we're going to wrap things up. I got to get used to this. The dit is not right. Is that a G? Oh, buddy. I heard a G. Oh, no, it was a W. That's my CW dyslexia character. Oh, no! Oh, can't hear him. Oh, no. Oh. Ah! I screwed that up. Oh, it's too... I can't copy a lot of that. I got a C? No. Oh no, is it the sun? WQ7, was that? Oh no! No, the Tiny SA just has an aerial. I'm just playing around with it. It came in the mail from RNL. So it's picking up the RF coming off my roof antenna. Oh no! And this is where I'm not going to do very well because I'm so new at this. Oh. I did my cue backwards. I'm getting dyslexic right now. See, this is when I need to take a break. I need to let this turn to firm up into jello in my brain. All right. Too fast. Going too fast. I can't copy. Yeah, N3BTJ, or N3TJB, you're in. You guys can count yourself as like my first non-Adam CQ call or CW calls. All right, I think we're gonna call it. I'm sorry, guys, I'm just not strong enough, and my brain is now liquefied. So I'm gonna say, oh, come on. All right. That is... No, it's too late. You're too fast. I can't. It's too much. All right. Oh, that was fun. That was actually, wow, I'm quite, for a lot of you, you're like, wow, I'm surprised he's that impressed with himself. He barely did anything there. Hey, it's a lot for me, all right? That was fun, though. That was super. That was way more fun than I thought it was. I was psyching myself up. I actually just went and took like a nap. Like, I just went and took a nap, and I'm like, I just need to go take a nap and free myself of thinking about this like an hour before the stream because I was a little bit worried. But, oh, buddy. All right. There you go, Mike. Get out there. So I'm actually, I feel like I could actually activate the summit. I'm still going to practice, but yeah, I think I'm going to go activate. Now, I appreciate everybody. So here's something that we'll wrap up with because we're about to hit the hour. Something the Long Island CW Club will tell you is don't say you're sorry, right? We're not saying sorry because you haven't really done anything wrong. You're trying, and you're not breaking a law. You're not screwing anything up, really. Like, people understand what you're trying to do. Obviously, I'm doing a live stream, so you guys pretty much know what frequency I was on and all that stuff. So mistakes were made, but I learned, right? Got some calls there. I actually feel pretty damn confident about that. That was way better than I thought I would do. You just go for it, okay? So I did it live. You can watch this anytime you feel like I'm just not good enough. You can't be worse than me, right? So do it, guys. Just get out there and make it happen. I think you're really gonna have some fun with it. Hey, thank you for the super chat, KB7YS. You will need a cold one to recover. Let me help you with that. Thank you so much. I will crack one open for the after chat. Speaking of the after chat, if you'd like to join us over there, and we can talk about CW stuff, because again, I think the gear is like ham sexy, as we call it. It's a lot. It is actually really cool. It becomes its own thing. Like, obviously, I think somebody had asked me, what is my key? So this is a Bengali Traveler key, and it's super, super nice. They're very expensive, though. So just straight up, like, this is like a third of the cost of the radio that's sitting right next to it. Not cheap, but there's a lot of cheaper options, and I've made videos talking about cheap options, and obviously we've done stuff with the Long Island CW Club and other people who actually are proficient Morse code operators that, just it is actually a fun thing to do. So at the very least, go to like American Morse, not American Morse. What's the guys who do the 3D printed keys? What are those guys called? Is it American Morse? Let me pull up their. Let's give them a shout out. I'm not affiliated with any of these folks, but CW Morse, that's it. That's the one. So check this out, okay? We'll wrap this up here. Go to cwmorse.us, and a lot of this stuff is 3D printed, and you can get some pretty good stuff for really inexpensive. So let's go to their outdoor paddles. $50, man, to get started out here. So check it out. Double pocket key. And you can get it in a myriad of colors. I like orange. And it's adjustable with Allen keys, so you can get in there and fine-tune it. There you go. You can get started $50, and then you can just, like, leave this with your radio, right? And you can hold it in one hand, and go nuts. And so, yes, yeah, wonderful point. So the thing with a beginner key is it feels like we've kind of graduated from this a lot, but there used to be some companies, I'm not going to mention any names, that would make like beginner keys, but they were really, really cheap material, and you'd end up breaking it really quickly and just having to go out and get something sturdier that would last longer. And with the proliferation of 3D printing, you can actually make yourself some really, really nice keys for very inexpensive to purchase, or you could just go 3D print your own. If you were so inclined, shout out to K6ARK, our buddy Adam. So Adam has k6ark.com, and if you go to 3D printing on his channel, let's go to his printables page. Printables is, yeah, that's fine. Printables is a 3D printing site where they have different models, and he made a really, really nice key. And you can download the parts for this, and it builds up real easy. And so if you don't want to do, that's it. It's three pieces, because these are print in place basically. For 3 3D printed keys and some hardware, you can get yourself something pretty good, pretty close to the CW Morse stuff too. So make sure to check out his stuff. Yeah, and go check out AA0Z again. We'll give him another shout out there. Good job, Kyle. And gotta give the shout out and the love to Thomas doing what he does out there. And truly, if you want to get yourself pumped to go do like a POTA or a SOTA, go watch his stuff. And of course, go watch Adam's K6ARKs because they'll get you pumped to do that. Anyway, I think that's going to do it for me. When you see me here shortly, I'll be cracking open a beer to celebrate my 5 contacts. And yes, those will go in the log, so they'll be available there. Oh yeah, I could go on, and in fact, maybe we'll do that in the future. Red Summit RF, there's a number of folks who are CW primary operators, and good stuff from Red as well. He does a lot of SOTA activations. I could go on, but we're out of time here, so want to say thank you, everybody. All right, enjoy the memes. Hope you join us on the after chat. Discord link is in the description. The YouTube video that I will be live on will be posted in about 10 minutes or so, and then we'll hang out here real short for a couple more hours. So I'll see you later. 73. Enjoy the memes. Oh, no, can't do that. I can't do that. See, I don't have my beer. I don't know what to do to finish my beer. I usually go and just wrap up with the Patreons. So I want to give a big shout out to patrons. Thank you so much. Your guys' support allows me to feel confident enough to be a stupid head and try in the CWs. Yeah, so, Cedric. So, Cedric, the after chat is still on my channel. I'm going to wrap up this live stream, and I'm going to post another live stream. It'll likely be titled something that says after chat in the front. And if there'll be a lot of people in a voice chat that are all going to be on Discord. So if you'd like to join us on the Discord, you can do that by going to the description. There'll be a link to join our Discord. And then you go down to hashtag live-stream. That's the text chat. And then there's a voice chat directly below that. And that's how you join us on the after chat. It's voice chat and text chat. And I will also be watching the YouTube comments and the Twitch comments as well. So there you go. Man, I could be doing this. I feel like doing more of this tomorrow morning. Wake up in the morning, get on the air. I could do it. I could do it, guys. You could do it too. I'm pumped. I'm pumped. All right. And a big thank you again to all the patrons. Newsletter is at the end of the month, or hopefully dropping before the end of the month. And then we're going to be not too long before we're getting ready for the patron picks episode, which we'll have to talk about because I'm going to have to move that date because that's going to be the weekend of the camping trip. I don't know that I'll be able to do that in the on the backpacking trip, but we might be able to try. Anyway, enjoy the memes. I'll play you out and see you in 5 to 10 minutes, maybe more like 15. See ya. It's doing it again. It's switching on me. Don't listen to that song. That's too early for that song. Knock it off. There we go. That's the right song. Thanks a lot, everybody. Oh, I know. It's just, unfortunately, I have a family that they just don't have any respect for the ham radio calendar. They just don't respect that ham radio calendar. They don't care what's going on with ham radio. They just plan their life around all the days that something important's happening on ham radio. Oh, there it is. That's why we got muted. There's the song. All right, we'll see you in a bit, guys.